Console.assert prints a message to the JavaScript developer console when a given condition is false. This can be useful for debugging your program, as the message will only be printed when an exceptional condition happens. Let's take a look at using console.assert. So to use console.assert, I'm just going to call console.assert. Now, the first argument to console.assert is the condition that we are testing. This is a normal JavaScript expression that should evaluate to either true or false, and this is what determines whether or not the assertion is printed to the debug console. When the condition evaluates to true, nothing is going to be printed to the console. When the condition evaluates to false, the assertion has failed and our message will be printed to the console. So here, for example, if we said 1 is less than 2, that is going to evaluate to true. And when we go in and run console.assert, nothing gets printed to the console. If we instead change this to say 1 is greater than 2, notice how now in the console, something is being printed out. So it's telling us, hey, this assertion failed, and it's going to link back to the line where that actually failed as well. Again, with console.assert, you're asserting that a specific condition is expected to be true. And if that's not the case, then that means that something has gone wrong and you want to know about it in the debug console. Now, you can use console.assert like this, just passing in a condition, but you can also go and print additional information when the assertion fails. So let's go back here, and for the 1 is greater than 2 one, as the other arguments here, we can go and pass in any additional information that we think would be helpful to understand this assertion. So I can just pass in a string here and say compare failed. And now when I go and run this assertion here, you can see that it has gone and included that message inside of the assertion message that is being printed. We can even pass in any JavaScript objects that we want here. So I could go in and pass in an array. So I could say 1, 2, 3. And you can see that that array has now been included in the assertion message as well. So anything that you could pass to console.log, you can include as the other arguments to console.assert. When that assertion fails, it will also be printed to the developer console, and you can go and interact with those values and see all of them being printed right in the developer console there. Console.assert can be a useful tool for debugging. Now, keep in mind that it does not actually change how your program works. All it does is print things to the developer console. So if it's important to act on the assertion failing in some way, make sure to also go and add JavaScript to handle those cases. I find myself using console.assert when I'm wanting some logging, but only in an exceptional circumstance, so when a given condition is false. It's much more convenient than writing an if statement and then going and adding a console.log inside of that. So that's a quick look at console.assert in JavaScript.